Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. And welcome to all of you that are here. I'm Ramiro Salazar, Director of the San Antonio Public Library. Before we start the program, I would like to invite you to join me in a moment of silence for the lives that were tragically lost recently. Please join me. Thank you. Today we're here to primarily talk about the importance of the public having unhindered access to our libraries and our library collections and resources, and the people's right and freedom to read. To emphasize this message today, we're honored to have Mayor Ron Nirenberg with us this morning. Mayor Nirenberg has been a consistent champion of libraries, of the freedom of access, of empowering people with information and knowledge. And we're extremely glad that he made time from his busy schedule to introduce a campaign that we will be talking about shortly. At this time, it's my honor to invite and welcome Mayor Nirenberg to the podium. Mayor.
Thanks, Ramiro. Good morning, everyone. You awake? Good morning. Thank you, Ramiro. As I'm sure each of you know, libraries play an extremely important role in our society. Books, in fact, are one of the most fundamental things, pieces of our educational community. And now more than ever, libraries play a critical role in ensuring unrestricted access to books, resources, and information. I'm very proud that our city council adopted a resolution in May to demonstrate the City of San Antonio's unwavering support for our library system and what it represents to the people of San Antonio. The resolution was spearheaded by Councilmember Sandoval as chair of Community Health, Environment, and Culture Council Committee, and I thank the council member for her leadership, also a staunch champion of our educational community. The freedom to read is about each individual's liberty. It's about our access and right to access information freely, a right that is clearly afforded to us by the First Amendment of the United States Constitution. And let's face it, that right has been under attack by anti-American forces, even within our own community, within our own legislature, and sometimes even within the board of trustees of school districts across the state. And the time to stand up to that is every day, and I'm proud to be here on behalf of our San Antonio Public Library to do that today. San Antonio is a safe haven for books and library resources, and I want to ensure all San Antonians that censorship in any form will not be acceptable in San Antonio. It's no secret that attempts to censor library collections and ban books have been on the rise in our country and in Texas in recent months. And I'm grateful that the San Antonio Public Library has not experienced that kind of pressure here locally, but we will push back against it if it does. This shows that the people of San Antonio are also largely behind and united in behind maintaining free and unrestricted access to a wide variety of ideas at our local libraries. To borrow from the resolution adopted by the City Council, which you'll see displayed here and throughout our city's library system, today I'm here to support the public library in its efforts to oppose any who may attempt to restrict the freedom to read through banning, removing, or other forms of restricting access to books or other library materials simply because the materials are inconsistent with their viewpoints. Libraries exist for all members of our society, and we trust and maintain library collections fairly and equally in representation of the diversity of our community. So I want to thank again our library staff, our team, our board of trustees here at the library for their commitment to their craft and to the San Antonio community. Your dedication makes a huge difference and makes us a community that stands for the liberty to read, to learn, and to exchange with people of all kinds. So Ramiro, thank you again for inviting me today. Thank you for, taking on this really important initiative. It speaks to the values of our community and also, again, undergirds the importance of our library system, a free library system in the city of San Antonio. So have a wonderful day, and please enjoy the great Bazan Library while you're here. Thank you, Ramiro.
Thank you, Mayor. And thank you again. I want to publicly thank you for being such a strong supporter of our libraries and the work that we do. And I want to thank also Councilwoman Sandoval for spearheading the efforts to pass the resolution that we talked about that affirms the people's and individuals' right to access and also to read whatever they desire. So we're extremely grateful that you're here and that we're having this opportunity to have a conversation about the importance of having complete access to resources, to information, and to books. I also want to thank the entire City Council for the proclamation. So we thought it was fitting that as we're looking forward to the 4th of July celebration next week, that it would be a good time to celebrate the freedoms as a result of that action that was taken many years ago and the freedoms that came after that. And so we celebrate those freedoms and we enjoy those freedoms. And it's a time to remember that we need to defend those freedoms. Public libraries, as the most democratic institutions in our community, we have a responsibility to not only facilitate access to our collections, but offer collections that reflect the diverse communities that we serve. That is very important, that we provide collections that reflect those individuals in our community, that when they come into the library, that they see themselves in the books that we offer. So we believe in inclusion, and we strive for inclusion by offering collections and programs that does that. Starting today, you can see a display of library books at every San Antonio Public Library location as part of the Freedom to Read campaign. You will find these books that have been traditionally challenged or banned, or they may demonstrate the wide array of ideas, viewpoints, and representations that you can find within the library collection. So we'll have displays similar to the one right here in all of our library locations of books that have been challenged, in some cases attempted to be banned, and then returned back to the collections. Importantly, each and every one of these titles is available to check out and take home as you read. In other words, you have the freedom to check out these books. I invite every San Antonian to visit their nearest library location and find a book and other library items that resonate with them. Let's embrace our freedom to read. Let's join in celebrating that we have and enjoy those freedoms, and that we have the freedom to choose, because individuals will encounter all types of materials in our libraries as part of our efforts to be inclusive. And people have the right to either pick up a book, or if that doesn't resonate with them, they have other choices. And that's what we want to provide, choices for all. I want to invite folks to visit mysapple.org/freedom to read to learn more about our collective efforts to protect your right to access library materials. Before we open the floor to questions, I would like to take a moment to recognize some individuals that are here with us today. We have a couple of board members. We have Rosie Martinez, representing District 3. Josie, thank you for being here. We have Jeremy Lundeen, who represents this district. He's here, District 5. Thank you, Jeremy. We also have members of the San Antonio Public Library Foundation. We have the Executive Director, Amy Home. Amy. And the Director of Development, Jessica Rivera. Thank you both for being here. And finally, I want to thank and acknowledge our staff, our collective staff, as well as our communications team led by Scott Williams, who organized this event. So thank you for your collective efforts. Of course, all the staff that are involved, I want to recognize and thank them for your efforts. Thank you all for coming, and at this point, we will respond to any questions. While we wait for questions, I do want to add, I just came back from a conference the American Library Association which was held in DC. And there was a lot of conversation amongst our colleagues about this movement to ban and restrict access. And I can tell you that we are mobilizing, we're galvanizing together as professionals to push back against any efforts from any forces that may attempt to restrict access and prevent access to an inclusive collection. I want to emphasize inclusive collection. An inclusive collection of books and materials means that we will offer all types of ideas and viewpoints as part of our collection development. And I also want to share that the responsibility of offering those collections require professionals that are very intentional, they're very professional. We do not allow our personal views to affect the items that we collect. It's all neutral as part of our developing collection, so that we have, again, resources and books that represent the communities that we offer. Recently, I received a letter, I'm assuming it was a husband and wife, who objected to displays about Pride Month, and actually requested that we take them down. I responded that we would not take them down because we're a community that's inclusive, that we embrace all those individuals that make our community diverse. And basically, I suggested if this person or individuals were offended by it, they didn't have to come in. They have a choice. We all have a choice. That's having a freedom. But they would be welcome after Pride Month if they were offended by the display. We will continue to defend those kinds of efforts because it's important, again, that we embrace the entire community. It's a diverse community. That's what makes San Antonio strong. And so we will continue to defend those freedoms. Any questions? Okay, we may have questions after we terminate the conference. At this time, the mayor and I will make ourselves available if you have any questions informally. So thank you all for coming.